Good morning, family, friends, followers, foes. Anyway, I'm feeling good today. Today is June 18th, 2025. And let me turn this air conditioner down, which isn't doing very much, anyways. I have not really defined what my YouTube channel is all about, and I probably should, but at this point, it's pretty random. If you hadn't noticed, the name of my channel is the Shark Pranked Gumbo Geek. And of course, that's because I had not a great experience on Shark Tank. I guess the grateful part is I got on Shark Tank. I was actually seen on Shark Tank. So that's the grateful part. So I haven't decided what my channel is. So maybe my channel will be many facets of Carol. Don't really want to talk a whole lot about Shark Tank, not that much. And maybe I will at one point, I don't know. Anyway, of late, the two things that I have been talking mostly about have been about my tiny house on wheels and the mold in my apartment. So I wanted to give you a couple of updates on that, and then one other thing. So as far as the mold in the apartment, I am actually still in the apartment. We still actually retained possession of the apartment. However, we did go to court back in March, and we lost at court. And I've been waiting for the marshals to knock on the door any minute, and that has not happened. I've not gotten any updates. In fact, they did a biannual inspection yesterday. In fact, I wasn't there. My daughter was there, but she was asleep. I don't care what they do. Excuse me. I got a little raspiness in my voice. Anyway, they did the inspection, and I read the complaint, the actual lawsuit that has been filed by our attorney. And so that's in motion. The lawsuit is in motion. So I'm still suing the owners of the property. I don't know what that's going to be like. As far as living there, as you can see in the background here, I have pillows and blankets and whatnot, because I spend a fair amount of time in my car, like sometimes up to 18, 20 hours a day, because of not being able to sleep in that apartment. It's very, very uncomfortable. It's extremely uncomfortable. Still makes my head feel kind of weird. So there's that. I find I still am having difficulties. The wheezing and all that are not as bad. The respiratory issues, I haven't had to go for a breathing treatment for a while. Biggest issues now for me are the confusion, and like neurologically, I just feel strange. I feel sometimes I wake up and I'm not real sure. Am I here? Like, honestly, I have that. It feels weird. Like, I get a little confused. I do. And a lot of things could come into play with regard to that, but I wasn't like that prior to living in that apartment. So there is that. I still have the aches and pains that I always have had. But, hey, it comes with age too. So I don't know what part of that plays into it. But anyway, I still feel really strange when I'm in that apartment. So we're waiting to hear when we're going to go to trial, if we go to trial, if we go to arbitration, if they decide to settle, or if they decide to answer the demand or any part of the demand amount. So that's it on the mold. The carpet is still down there. It's gross. Every time I try to vacuum, the mold and the spores from the carpet just make me really sick. So I haven't cleaned it in quite some time. And I might just, for the hell of it, just take up the carpet in the bedroom and just throw it out on my own. It wouldn't be much they could do. So there's that. What else with the apartment? That's it. Still there, still waiting for some relief. Pay my moving expenses and I'll be fine. Next thing, tiny house on wheels. Yes. Things are moving along. My guy who has been helping me, Greg, and Jimmy, they have been working on walls and electrical and just everything, all the building it out, and it takes time. Right now I'm only able to afford for them to come twice a week to do 4 or 5 hours, but it's getting done, and I'm grateful for that. I attempted to put the flooring down, and the one in the bathroom turned out pretty good, but the rest of it is kind of crappy, a little sketchy. But I already told him, I said, well, I'm going to put area rugs down anyway, so you ain't even going to see that. He says, I'm taking that crap up and doing it myself. I said, I can't afford for you to take that back up and put it back down. So unless he's planning on doing it free, I don't know. We'll see. He says, I got to stand by my work and put my name on this project. So I don't know if I'm going to, allow that to stay like that. But if he wants to do it for free, fine. But other than that, we're putting an area rug over it and calling it a day. But it is coming along, and I'm super excited. There's much more to do, many more projects to do, and certainly much more money to be spent, because I've got to buy a solar system and batteries and all that stuff. So that can be very costly. What's the next update? Oh, me personally, I have been on a compounded version of Ozempic for the last 2.5 months. I started April 3rd. It is now June 18th, and I'm down 27 pounds. Yay! My original goal was to lose 40 pounds, and so I'm, more than halfway to my goal. I will say there have been a few pros and cons. I'll start with the cons. My skin took a serious hit the first week. I'll try and see if my daughter can put the picture in this video. I don't know if she can or not. She may be able to. Anyway, my skin took a hit. I was just broken out so badly. Fatigue, dry mouth. Dry mouth is really from nerves. When I get anxious, my mouth gets dry. Fatigue, usually between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. I get the most overwhelming fatigue. I cannot keep my eyes open. I have to rest. And I no longer feel bad about having to rest. Rest is so good for you. It's healthy. It's good for you. So I have to rest during that time. I may not rest the entire 4 hours, but at some point during them, I need a good, hour power to get myself together, or more, whatever it takes. So the fatigue. Constipation can be an issue. And that's because the way Ozempic works is it slows down the elimination process, so you stay fuller longer and you don't want to eat anymore. And so that's sometimes an issue. And just like when you were a kid, if you get constipated, you get cranky. And I get cranky. And that happens. I notice after I take my injection, which is once a week, I sometimes have an increased sense of depression, and I don't know if it's because the injection slows your metabolism down, and it slows you down. I don't know. I have, on the days that I take my injection, I tend to have a little bit of a depression state for a little while, and it goes away. And the other last con I would say would be the cost. When I was first diagnosed with diabetes, which I've been pre-diabetic for many years, and then just recently my A1C got to 6.5, which is very low, but it's within the diabetic spectrum. And so I was prescribed the Ozempic by my managed healthcare system, which is Kaiser. And it's so expensive. It's $700. And I found someone who sells it for $200. And so I was able to take a compounded version of that. And it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Which now leads me to the pros. First one is the fact that it's such easy weight loss. Like, I just am not super hungry. So I just don't care to eat. I'm just not real hungry. I'm not one of those people who, you got to get 100 grams of protein in and da-da-da-da-da. No, as long as you stay in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. And that's what has happened for me. So it's easy weight loss. If I want to go out to eat with friends and they're having dessert, I can have dessert. But the nice thing about it is a couple of bites of dessert and I'm very satisfied. I don't feel left out. I got a chance to have some dessert. And the desire to eat more sugar is not there for me. That's another pro, is that my sugar cravings have decreased by probably 80%. I usually am that person who can look back on my day and realize that I've had, a lot of sugar in my coffee, with a pastry, probably a cookie or something else later on in the day. If I happen to see a donut shop, I might stop and get that. Or at one point I was on a peanut M&M kick where I was eating 2 big bags of peanut M&Ms from 7-Eleven a couple times a day. Like a lot of sugar. And just, sugar. I'm not that way. When I get a taste for it and I want an ice cream cone or I want something, I'm able to have that, and that's enough. And I may not have it for another 3 or 4 days. The other nice thing is I enjoy my coffee with hazelnut creamer. I keep, I just bought a new one because I ran out this morning. I'm gonna find it for you. Wait a second. Okay, here we go. I like my hazelnut creamer. Okay, and I keep one in my car in my console there for my morning coffee every day. And I enjoy my coffee the way I like to have it. And it does have sugar. And I don't necessarily have to have any more sugar the rest of the day. If I want something, it's okay. I'll have it. I don't stress about that anymore. And that's been wonderful, is this newfound relationship with food, is that I can enjoy it and I don't have to binge and I don't have to feel like I am trapped or a prisoner to the sugar cravings, and that's been wonderful. So the weight loss, easy weight loss, and my sugar cravings have been really, really down. Another one, which is kind of cool, is my nails. Now, I know that many of you have heard I've heard of the fact that collagen peptides are good for nails and hair. Well, I've never taken anything like that. But what semaglutide, which is Ozempic, is a peptide. So is the tirzepatide, which is the what is that? Semaglutide is Ozempic and tirzepatide is Wegovy, or it's one of them. Anyway, there's 2 different ones. One is a GLP-1, and the other one has GLP-1 and GIP. Don't ask me what that means, but the tirzepatide has the 2. Anyway, this is all peptide situations. and they have increased my nails. My nails have never and could never grow this healthy and long, like without bending. They would be soft. My nails would be soft, and they bend and just tear off, or they wouldn't even break off. They tear off because they were so soft and bendy. These my nails are hard, and they're growing, and they're growing. Okay, I just love them. I think it's cool. I just got my nails done yesterday, so anyway, so there's that. Hair. If you've noticed, almost, well, all of my videos, with the exception of a few where you see me with really short hair, uh, almost all of my videos are with a scarf on because I am completely bald right here. And when you see that little short hair style that I might wear, I've glued that hair on. So I'm completely bald. Just like this skin is here, is like it is here, except for now. And I'm not willing to show it to you, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. I have a fine little teeny weeny afro growing right here. The hair is kind of growing back. It may not grow back as full as the rest of the hair. Basically, I look like George Jefferson. Don't laugh. Okay. But anyway, so I wear wigs, I wear weaves, I wear scarves because I have baldness. It's alopecia, but it was called scarring alopecia, in other words. And they told me, no sense in getting a hair transplant because the scarring in your scalp will not allow hair to grow back through. But ever since I've been on Ozempic or semaglutide, I've got hair growing here, which is great. And once it grows all the way in, I might be willing to share that with you. But until then, take my word for it. Okay. So these are updates on my life. Again, I'm not sure what this channel is supposed to be. I just know that I'm starting to get into it. The gumbo business, which is why I was even on Shark Tank, has slowed, and my enthusiasm for it has also slowed, but it will change. And also, this is summertime, so the gumbo sales are normally slower, but I also am interested in adding some products to what we do, and we'll get a website going soon, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see. Last thing, because I'm hustling, and I'm hustling because I got to get this house together so that if and when the sheriffs do come and say, hey, you got to be out in 5 days, I will have some place to go. So I am now an independent rideshare driver. Yes, I am a driver for Uber and Lyft. I have a 4.99 rating on Uber. I've been associated with Uber for almost 10 years. Although I haven't been driving the entire 10 years. Off and on, I'll go back and do that. But I'm back. But I'm also converting many of the passengers to private clients, because Uber and Lyft, at the end of the week, you realize you were only paid 35%. That's ridiculous. Actually, on each ride, you can calculate 35%. That's not enough to live on, especially when you have to do maintenance and all that to your vehicle and keep it up. So I'm an independent rideshare driver. I've started my own company, and I've been converting passengers, and I've converted about 3 in the last 2 weeks or so, and it's been pretty good. So I've got a lot going on. We've got Uber, or rideshare rather, and the name of my company is Luberift. You already know how to spell it. Luberift. I've got rideshare going on. I've got gumbo business going on. I've got the tiny house going on. I've got the mold situation going on. Oh, and going back to the tiny house, the company or the mechanic that screwed me in charging me over $2,500 for repairs to the bus when I towed it into them, and they kept it 2 months. I've filed suit against them. We go to court on August the 5th. So I had the Board of Automotive Repair here in California to investigate, and he is the one who told me you should go forward with a small claim case against him because he charged you too much money. So there's that. There's a lot going on. So this is an update video on everything about the Shark Prank Gumbo Geek, also known as Carol. And so I appreciate any follows, likes, shares, any comments. Put that in there as well. Let me know what's going on, or give me some of your feedback, because I want to get this going, and a lot of things I want to get going. Okay, so thanks a lot for listening, and take care, everybody.